Hello everyone, the 316 here with an Action Force Valaverse figure review. Here I have the Deluxe Swarm Tracer. What's special about this one is that it's the glow-in-the-dark version. I got this from Valaverse directly. After shipping and taxes, I think I paid about 40 bucks for it. I think it's on sale for 30. Shipping is like $8 or so 40 bucks. I couldn't complain. I was always interested in getting a Valaverse Action Force figure, but none of them really caught my eye until I saw this one. So, really excited to open it up. It just looks cool. It's glow in the dark. I'm a sucker for glow in the dark stuff. Translucent plastic figures are my shit. But there's all the legalese and stuff. You got some nice art on the side of the swarm there. Same thing with this side. It's a little bit different though. Then on the back here, you get a little bit of a read-up as well as some action points. They do promotions where you can trade a bunch of these in and you can get figures for very cheap. Not many, but it's cool. I'll probably cut this out later, but I'm ready to cut open this box. So let's get it open. Getting him out of the box was relatively painless, but first things first, you see that he comes with a little bit of a backdrop here. I'm probably not going to keep this, but if you want to pose him with it, you got a backdrop. The figure itself has quite a number of accessories, so when I took the figure out of the box, he came with a pistol that was in the holster, and of course it's glow in the dark, but that just goes in like that, nice, clean. It's not too tight, not too loose, but when you can hear it when it goes in. It's a nice click sound. Also comes with a little tiny knife here, and that also was on the figure while it was in the box, so that's cool. So those go on like that. And then we got a bunch of hand sculpts here. So the hands on the figures are, or on the figure rather. This one is designed as a trigger finger hand, so you can hold things like his, I guess like SMG. I think, you know, these guns are a little bit more high concept, like futuristic looking. And they both have a effect holder piece on the front there. So you could put smoke, you could put fire, flames, whatever you want. But yeah, you can easily put the gun in the hand here. I don't know how tough this is, just because, again, I just opened this figure. I haven't had a ton of time to play around with it, but I said it was easy, and I'm struggling with it. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Bend the fingers back. This one does not want to go in there, and also his knife fell out. The issue is the trigger finger. The trigger finger keeps bending out of the way, so I can't put the finger guard in there. But yeah, he can hold his weapons just fine if, you know, you're actually good at putting his weapons in. Again, that fell out. Should hold, but it's not a super tight fit on the knife there. But there's his SMG in that hand. And then other hand sculpts, he's got these two, which I think are designed for just holding the gun, you know, just lightly. So if he's firing with his right hand, you can stick this one in the left and have him just firmly grasp it in that one. Like I do like that. Matching set of hands for each of these, by the way. He's got a pair of fists. They have some nice gloved detail on them. It's hard to make out because it's black. I really wish they made the hands in a translucent color. And then he's got two holding hands. This is mainly designed for his shield. So you can easily, and again, I just said easily, and I'm going to regret saying that, but bend the fingers backward a little bit and it'll go right in. So you can get the shield in there. It's looking pretty good already. But if we turn him around, you know, he is a little wobbly. How about we put him on the included Action Force display stand? Also glow in the dark. But that should be easy. There's two peg holes. There we go. And this reminds me a lot of like the Mega Bloks figures where they have the peg holes and they're not centered properly. But the last accessory that you can put on the figure, in addition to what's already on him, is this really cool like stinger looking backpack. I really like this thing. It's cool. And of course, it's made out of the glow-in-the-dark plastic, at least the wings and the abdomen, I guess. I don't think it moves or anything, yeah, no. But what does move is the wings, so they're on a ratchet. They can ratchet twice up or twice down, or I guess once up or once down, depending on how you look at it. But there is a hole in the backpack here, and if you line it up with his back, you'll see there's a hole into the back. And it doesn't want to go in. Of course it doesn't. But it's a nice tight fit. It doesn't feel like it's going to move once it's in there. And that just looks really cool. But he also comes with two other accessories. You got two different head sculpts. Trying to show you both of these in the light. So he comes with one that looks more like a bug, and then he comes with one that's reminds me of the EVA helmet from Halo, but it's nicely textured, as you can see. The one on the figure looks good too, but I thought I'd show you what he looks like with all the accessories. But let's go ahead and take those off so we can look at the details of the figure proper. And now this doesn't want to come out. There we go. But taking the head sculpt off, easy, very easy. You just pop it off, and then you can pop on a different one. I don't know what head sculpt I'm going to use, like I said, but I'm leaning towards this one just because, you know, it's glow in the dark. I think preference-wise, I like this one the best, but for the glow in the dark, I like this one. Speaking of glow in the dark, let's go ahead and light it up. Light it up nice. Get it all nice and bright on that thigh. But yeah, the glow in the dark effect, it ain't too bad. It holds for a little bit. Trying to get... Yeah, it doesn't hold for very long. And it's not showing up well on camera, if I'm being honest. You can kind of see it in the knee, though. It got a little bit brighter there for a second. Same thing with the head if we do that. Ooh. So much knowledge in there. Wonder what he's thinking of right now. But yeah, I just think the glow in the dark looks pretty cool. And as far as I know, all of this stuff here is reuse, but it's glow in the dark, and it looks really cool. Really nice detail on this figure. Again, you got a lot of black plastic and black paint to break up all the glow in the dark bits. I think the only pieces that aren't glow in the dark is actually just the torso pieces, as well as the upper thigh, or the hip, I guess. But that's it. Everything else is glow in the dark. Even these elbow pieces, they actually painted them black. You can see where the paint did not fully cover that joint there. So not sure why they decided to paint the inner joint of that. I would have just left it glow in the dark myself, but again, beats me. The gun looks pretty cool, although I think it's a little bit different plastic quality to the rest of the glow in the dark pieces. You know, you got some like magazines or clips or whatnot on the front there. Looks good. I like the overall bug aesthetic of these, you know, enemies, these villains, this particular faction. I don't really know the lore of these particular figures or anything, but I just really like the angular look of these henchmen. He also has a floating belt piece here, but there is a belt buckle that is painted underneath. And, you know, you can adjust this as you like. You want to have it all the way up here, you can. You want to have it a bit lower, you also can do that. So, looks really good. He's even got boot tread down there, and it's got the hexagonal pattern, like a, you know, beehive. Really cool looking figure. Really glad I bought it. But it's time for articulation. Articulation-wise, we can start off with the head. The head sculpts are all very similar, so you can see how much this one looks up, how much this one looks down. It's got the 360, which is no issue, and it has a little bit of pivot, not much. So the shoulders can get a T-pose, but you have to twist the shoulder and then bend it into the butterfly joint and then twist it up. Obviously, since this isn't painted, it's not going to rub any of the paint, but if you want to get more of a T-pose out of that arm, that's the way you have to do it, just because this interferes with the trap piece. But yeah, it does not want to go up further than that. It does have the 360 there and a 360 here. It's got the double jointed elbows. Really like those. Of course, the hands. Pretty much all of them use the same, you know, side to side, whereas the gun hands, those ones use the up and down, thankfully, so that you can actually properly display them with the gun. The torso piece is on a double ball joint, similar to McFarlane's, but unlike McFarlane's, it actually articulates well. So back-wise, not too bad. That's using both of the ball joints. And then crunch forward, very excellent, very cool. If you want to do some flying poses, using both of the joints, they can go to side that much. And it is on again, ball joint, so 360. Although the bottom one gets a little stuck, so I wouldn't move it past that. So the legs, obviously this gun holster is going to get in the way, but this leg can split that much. This one can go that much without the gun in there. Even more, almost the exact same amount as the other leg. And this is already getting out of the way. Obviously this is on a swivel, so it goes that much. Double joint in the knees is practically perfect. There is no boot swivel, but there is ankle swivel. And there's ankle hinge. Can go that much. And it's got a pivot as well. So excellent amount of articulation here on the Swarm Tracker. Really good looking figure. But let's go ahead and put the accoutrement back on him real quick, and then we'll do some size comparisons. Alright, so the Swarm Tracker here at the top of his head stands at about 6.5 inches tall, just about. So, as I said, I do have another Valaverse figure. It's actually from a 2-pack, but I didn't buy it directly from Valaverse. This is the White Dragon from the still yet to be released Legend of the White Dragon movie. And, you know, good articulation on both of these. White Dragon's a little bit shorter, not by much. Thought I'd bring out some G.I. Joes. Been a while since I did, but I got the Python Patrol Bat, as well as Cobra Commander. But yeah, there's some all you know, military style, and of course Valaverse's own line as well. But they all look pretty good next to each other. I got no qualms or complaints. But let's get these guys out of the way, and we can see how they look next to all the usuals. And I think I'm going to make this guy a usual as well. I don't have any other Valaverse things to compare it to anyway that, you know, I don't have here already. So I think this guy's going to get added to the table here. But you can see how he looks next to everybody. He's not the same height as Samoa Joe. It's just because he's on the stand. He doesn't move, or rather, he doesn't stand well. But if anything, he's closer to Outback's size. And I kind of like the difference in color between Outback and him, so definitely going to put him on the shelf. But anyway, do you guys want me to review more Valaverse stuff? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.